As you know, it's a very important lecture series. This lecture series is for a very noble cause, as you know, Azadi Amrit Mahotsav, which is a very proud moment for every Indian, for every one of us. And to celebrate this important event, this important celebration, this important Utsav, I can say, the ICAR, as you know, has started many activities, many important programs are there. And one of them being this 75 lecture series of ICAR. Till date, we have completed 53 lectures, and today is the 54th lecture. And all these lectures are by very eminent personalities, experts on various topics, and they are connected with the research. Those topics are connected with the policies and motivational lectures, the soft skills, the COVID, and many more things, and number of things, topics are there. And in the same series, today we have another very important lecture, and that lecture is about the skills. As you know, basics of goal setting. Madam Radha is expert on the soft skills. So this basics of goal setting is by Dr. Radha Shankar Narayanan, and she is a banking graduate and a postgraduate in computer application. And she has worked with the top IT companies, with the last employer being the Wipro Technologies. Working for IT companies helped her to gain expertise in instructional design and technical training facilitation. She quit Wipro in 2011, and in the same year, she got upskilled in NLP, that is Neuro-Linguistic Programming, life coaching of the students, and hypnotherapy. She followed the passion of changing minds of people for better by doing soft skills training. And I think she is passionate to spread the love and happiness and helping with whatever is possible. More than 100 batches of training programs have been delivered in personality development by Dr. Radha, and faculty development exclusively for students and teachers of agricultural universities of this country. More than 10,000 participants have been benefited so far with her lectures. So thank you very much, Dr. Radha, for accepting our request and for being passionate for these programs, which motivated you to quit the job and took up this as a profession or as your hobby. So we are really thankful, and on this platform today we have many vice chancellors. You can see from the list, we have many top officers from our ICAR system. Many deputy director generals are there, assistant director generals are there, and especially the faculty, the deans and other persons are also here in this meeting. So I'm sure that your lecture will benefit all of us, and we can decide further how best we can take your help in imparting the soft skill programs for the universities, especially for the benefit of the students, so that it can become a extra learning for the students of the UG, PG in our universities. Okay. So thank you very much again, and the floor is yours, Dr. Radha. You can take around 40 minutes, and then we can have few questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So good morning, everybody. And it's my absolute pleasure and honor to be given this opportunity. And I should thank ICAR, DG ICAR, DDG Education, sir, and whomever is part of this meeting right now. And or to all who are directly or indirectly part of in making these lecture series happen, and thankful to all of them. Now, I chose the topic of basics of goal setting because it's my personal belief that, when someone is good in setting goals and achieving them, everything else in their life is going to fall in place. in any key area of life, be it their personal life, profession, their educational qualifications, their financial health, mental health, physical health, their any goals that related to family, society, everything is going to fall in place. So I always believe, whenever it is, I deliver training program for students or teachers, I always advocate my idea of setting goals and achieving them. So hence I chose this topic for today. Let me discuss some of the micro topics which I personally believe is required for someone to set goals and achieve the same. Out of which the first one is the personality trait. The personality trait is very important for someone to effectively set goal and achieve, because we all know that few people can do it easily, few people couldn't do it. The reason that I personally believe is this: there are three different personalities. One is a person who can make things happen. Two, a person who watches things happen. And the third one is a person who wonders what happened. Now, the first personality trait, a person who makes things happen, he or she is very clear with what exactly they want. They are willing to take risks. They are willing to get out of their comfort zone to achieve their goals. They are okay to be uncomfortable at times. And they know what kind of problems they have to face. They know how to achieve them, how to get over them. They know what kind of skills is required to achieve a particular goal that they set for themselves. And they know what kind of help people would be required for them to take help from and then keep going on achieving their goals. They are extremely good at planning. They are extremely good at sticking to the plan that they made and achieve goals. So these are some of the traits of a person who makes things happen. The second one is people who watch things happen.
Dr. Radha, do you have any slides to show? Or?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, I don't have.
Thank you.
Okay. And the second one is people who watch things happen. Now, if you ask that people who watch things happen don't want to set goals or achieve, yes, they do want. But what happens is they are not willing to be out of their comfort zone. It is like, fine, let me just sit here, relax, and watch them set goal and achieve them. If someone else is able to achieve their goals without facing any problems, and if their journey from where they are to where they want to be is going to be smooth, then yes, I'll also set goal and achieve. In my personal opinion, even if the goal is very, very small, the journey is not going to be easy. There will be problems. We have to face problems. We have to overcome them and still achieve them too. So that's my personal opinion. So if we think that, okay, I will set goal and achieve only if my life is going to be easy, that it's never going to be possible. And the third one is they neither set goals nor observe people who are setting goals and achieving. But at the end, when someone has achieved their goal, they said, how can this person be so successful in life? I don't understand. See, it is not only that they don't understand, they start throwing criticism. So basically, people in category number 3 are critics. So they keep throwing criticisms. So what I generally ask people is when they are about to, when they are willing to set goals and achieve is, think about in which category are you? Are you a person who is always making things happen? If yes, absolutely wonderful. Fine. If not, are you a person who is watching things happen? No, there is absolutely nothing harmful if you are watching things happen, if you are wondering what happened. But all we need to do at this moment is, so far we have not set goals. Let's say we are going to set goals today and start achieving them. There is absolutely no problem in you being a person who was watching things happen. No problem if you are wondering how other people were successful. Absolutely not an issue. The one thing that I personally believe everyone should do it immediately for setting goal and achieving is to decide that from now I will start setting goals and I will stay disciplined and I will start achieving my goals as well. So that firm decision is really important at this point of time for anybody to set goals and achieve. And yes, I have interacted with a lot of people. Some people do have goals, some people do not have goals. So based on my interaction, why some people don't set goal is, there are two major important reasons that I have found based on my interaction with people. Number one is the fear for failure. So many of the people, not only the students, even the adults, what they say is, it's not about setting goal and achieving. Rather, now I have goals. So what I do is I go about sharing my goals, and this is what I want to do. This is how I want the outcome to be. I share it with my friends, relatives, and other people. So what happens is, the moment I share with them, all of them are going to keep an eye over me, because they are going to continuously watch over me. And if at all I fail somewhere, or if at all things don't happen as how I want it to happen, everybody are going to criticize. I know you can't do this. I know you will fail. So what if those criticisms come? I cannot handle those criticisms. So I don't set goals at all. That's what people have told me. And there are other people like, okay, I really want to achieve this goal, but I have a doubt. Will I really be able to sustain that long? Will I be able to continuously work without quitting my goal for so long? Is it really possible for me to achieve? What if there is a problem I cannot solve it? What if I require help and I don't have people to help me out? So a lot of self-doubting questions will completely fill their minds. So these self-doubts and the fear to think big also stops people from setting goals. The quick solution that I would personally suggest is this. For fear of failure and for handling questions, I don't share my goals with anybody. Now, this may not, I don't know, for some it may sound like a not so right solution, but for me it worked, because when I don't share my goals with anybody, there is no chance that others are going to criticize me for failing. So I don't share my goals with anyone. And for fear of thinking big, and what if there is a problem? What if people don't help you? There are a lot of other personality traits that we need to develop in order to set goals and achieve. You need to be able to think clearly, decide clearly. You must be able to clearly jot down the solutions for the problems that you may have to face. And you must be able to build relationship and maintain relationship with people. So in such cases, the reasons why some people don't set goals will definitely fade away, and we would be all the more confident to set goals and achieve. Now, these are some of the things that I'm talking to all of you out of my personal experience of setting goals and achieving. Plus, I have guided a lot of people to do that too. So with whatever the interactions that I have had with such people, so all those are mixed up and I'm sharing with all of you now. And some of the benefits that I have personally seen in terms of setting goals and achieving, the most important benefit is I stay self-motivated, and it increases my self-confidence too. And I become more decisive. My decision-making skills improves when I know what exactly I want in my life. These are some of the benefits that I have personally seen in terms of setting goals and achieving. There are a lot more benefits, but these three are the top three, I should say. So that's what I have shared with all of you. And initially, when I started setting goals, I didn't know the difference between what exactly is a goal and what exactly is an objective. I was using these two terms interchangeably, but I later figured out that these two are completely different from each other. So for example, goal, as such is broad in nature, and objectives, I can say that these are small steps which I need to perform and achieve so that I can achieve the larger goal as such. So objectives are smaller in nature, narrow in nature, short term, and goals are broader in nature, long term. That is what I personally understood. For example, one of my goal was to um, create a huge artwork of about, let's say, 500. I'm an artist as well. I draw and paint a lot. And one of my goal was to get into Limca Book of Records. And when I set that goal, I did not even start painting in an A4 sheet. So I was painting in a much smaller sized paper, probably 1/4 of the A4 size sheet. So that is the size of the paper in which I was drawing and painting. Whereas my goal was to produce a mandala art, which is the world's largest. I mean, where am I and where I want to go? There was a huge gap between the two. So that was my goal. And the objectives were start painting in A4, then A3, then A2, then A1. So these are some of the smaller steps which I had to personally take so that I keep improving my ability to paint in a larger canvas and then ultimately achieve my goal. So this is what I could, immediately share with all of you, like how I understood the difference between the goal and an objective. And the next thing which I personally believe is writing goal is very important. What I do is I have a whiteboard at home, where I have in big bold letters. I have one of my goal, which is very important to me, and it is going to affect all walks of life of mine. So what I have done is in that big board, in that whiteboard in big bold letters, I have written my goal and have kept it. Why? Because I frequently see that whiteboard. That is my to-do list board as well. So I frequently see that board. Okay, what happens when someone writes their goal and probably stick it in a prominent place, either at home or in the workplace, wherever it is? Thing is, there are many things that will be in your unconscious memory. And whatever is there in your conscious memory is what we talk about, is what we take action upon. Something has to come from unconscious memory, it has to come to the conscious memory so that we will take action upon it. So what happens when I keep looking at my goal is, okay, then it reminds me, look, Radha, this is your goal. And then when something reminds me that, look, this is your goal, it also tells me, look, Radha, these are the actions that you're supposed to take to achieve your goals. And then it chain of reactions, chain of thoughts keeps coming. Okay, fine. Then if you have to achieve this, then you should be doing it. So what happens when I do something, even by mistake, when I do something which is not related to what I want to achieve, my mind starts hitting me saying that, look, what you're about to do or what you're doing is in no way related to your goal. So why don't you stop it and do something useful for you? So the chances of me wasting time is lesser. So I'm not here to say I have taken my life so seriously that you have to stop all the entertaining activities. No, absolutely not. So what I'm trying to tell you is when I write my goal and keep looking at it or stick it in a prominent place, keep looking at it, it keeps reminding, look, this is your most important goal. These are the actions that you need to take. Are you taking it on a daily basis? If someone is going to ask you, if someone externally asks you, that's a different story. If there is a voice from within, then it has a whole lot of effectiveness. That's what I personally believe. So when you write your goal and look at it, it's a voice within that keeps asking you, look, this is your goal. Have you achieved it? What have you done to achieve it? Are you doing some action taking today, which will eventually lead you to achieving the goal? So these are some of the psychological effects that I personally get out of writing my goal in big bold letters and sticking it in a prominent place. Fine, if you're not comfortable, because there are people who have asked me, okay, Radha, if I have to stick it in a prominent place, then everybody around me are going to know what goal is mine. And I don't want that to happen. So what shall I do? So in such a case, there are people who write in a diary or a piece of paper, probably keep it in a purse and then keep looking at it as many times as possible in a day. So that could absolutely be possible. Now, and once people come to the stage of, okay, I'm willing to write my goal. Now, there are people who are willing to write goals, set goals, and achieve them, but not many are, aware of what kind of goals can I set and achieve. It's not only with students. There are a lot of adults who have asked me, I really don't know. I really want to achieve something, but I don't know what exactly should I do, how exactly should I achieve, or how exactly should I set my goals first of all, and which key area is important to me. I have no idea, Radha. How do I determine what is that thing that I value most? I myself have no idea. So how do I find out? I asked them 3 questions. Question number 1. What would you do? How would you do it? How would you change your life if you are given 1 crore of money right now? I repeat the question. What would you do? How would you change your life if you are given 1 crore of money right now and you are asked to spend it? You cannot keep it in fixed deposit and earn interest about it. You have to spend it. So if you are given 1 crore of money right now and you are asked to spend it, what would you spend that 1 crore on? Generally what happens is when I ask this question, I ask people to write answers within 30 seconds. I don't give too much time, within 30 seconds. So you can note down these questions and probably write the answers and later on share with me as well. I would definitely be delighted to read all the answers. And question number 2, what would you do? How would you change your life if you know you will be alive only for 6 months from today? That's question number 3. Sorry, that's question number 2. And question number 3, what is that one thing when you do gives a whole lot of personal satisfaction? So I repeat the 3 questions. Question number 1, what would you do? How would you change your life if you are given 1 crore of money right now and asked to spend it? Question number 2, what would you do? How would you change your life if you know you will be alive only for 6 months from today? And question number 3, what is that one thing when you do gives you a whole lot of satisfaction? So I asked people to answer these 3 questions. Within 2 minutes, everybody would be clear about what they value most in their life. The answers to these questions will help you understand what are the things that you value most in your life. Now, when you have answers to these questions, it becomes a little easier for you to set goals and achieve. These questions and answers work with everybody, irrespective of the age group. So that's what I have personally seen. I have done goal setting as a workshop separately for adults, and these questions and answers works with anybody and everybody. So if at all there is someone who is not clear about what am I valuing most in my life, I myself do. So answer these questions, get to know your values, and based on that, you can certainly set goals and achieve. And yes, there are a lot of people, who major in minor tasks, and especially when it comes to students. So what happens is, most of the, when I have addressed a lot of students and teachers and the other corporates as well, but majorly students. So what I find with students is they all major in minor tasks, which means when I ask them, do they know that they have to take up their academics a little more seriously, little more focused with more concentration? They say yes. And then I ask them a question. Are you focusing more on your academics? Are you concentrating on your academics? Are you investing enough time to excel in your academics? They say no. So why no? Aren't you studying every day? Is what I ask them. And then they say, no, madam, that's not the story. What happens is, we attend the classes from morning to evening. And after that, we have a time set aside for studying. We open our book as well, and then book or notes or whatever, the study material, basically, we keep it open, and next to our study material is our mobile phone. So what happens is, so that particular evening, he will be extremely determined. Today, I should study for 1 hour. And he or she starts studying as well. And 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it would be a focused studying, and there will be an alert in the mobile phone. And obviously now, even adults, when the mobile gives us an alert, maybe we won't attend to the call, but our attention will definitely go towards our mobile phone for a moment. And after all, they are students. So what happens is they look at their phone and they receive some jokes in WhatsApp. They laugh at it. And then they are so broad-minded enough to share it with people. You put in a group broadcast list, it goes to at least hundreds of their friends. And those friends who receive the jokes, they are even more broad-minded than the person who had sent it. They receive one joke, they send at least 5 more. And what happens is these students, their mind starts scrutinizing. What are the jokes can I laugh at? What are the jokes that I can share again further? Is the joke shareable or not? So the actual intention when they sat at their desk is to study for an hour. But ultimately what happened is they started using their mobile phone. And when they realized that they have used their mobile phone for a long time, and when they realized that they have actually diverted into some other task for a long time, they would have at least spent a couple of hours. And okay, fine. Now at the end of using their mobile phone for 2 hours, are they really happy? Oh, fine, very good. I have used my mobile phone for 2 hours. No, they are not so happy about it. They feel unhappy about it. They feel frustrated about themselves. They feel irritated about their own attitude. Why in this world am I getting diverted? Why am I not able to concentrate? So all these negative emotions keep hammering in their mind. And ultimately they are like, no, I don't think I'm so good to achieve my goals. So let me quit. So there are a lot of students who have quit their goals just because of this. So I only ask them I have a lot of suggestions which I gave those students to improve their self-discipline. Achieving goals, setting goals is all about developing self-discipline. In my personal opinion, every human being, student or teachers or adults or anybody, are extremely good at planning. Every single human being is too good in planning. Where we generally lag behind is only in the execution part of it. We don't execute as we have planned. If ever every human being executes as however we have planned the activity, we would be one of the best on this planet. So where we generally lag behind is only in the execution part. And why someone is extremely good in planning and not at execution? In my opinion, it's all about self-discipline. We don't stick to the plan. Most of us, we don't stick to the plan and execute it. If ever we start sticking to a plan and execute it, everyone would be achievers. And all achievers who have achieved something in their life, big or small, have been self-disciplined. Okay. Now there are people who say, there is a lot of people who give reasons for not setting goals, for not achieving goals, for quitting, and for not sticking to their plan. What they say is, no, it is not like that. It is not that I want to deviate from the plan that I have made. I made a plan. I was about to stick to the plan and execute my task. But these people around, well, they are extremely disturbing. When I want to stay disciplined and learn something or study something or do something productive for my own life, I look at people around me, they are happily relaxing and enjoying their life. And when I look at them, I don't feel like doing something productive. I feel like joining their crowd and thoroughly enjoying my life. It is my friends who are disturbing me. It is the situation that is not at all okay for me. It is the circumstance that is not at all conducive for me. So people basically give out their power to the externals externally. So they pinpointed the people, they pinpointed situations, they pinpointed circumstances. What they don't realize is everything is from within. So it's not that people are not helping me. It's not that circumstance is not okay. When you take responsibility, instead of saying they are not helping me, you can definitely say, what can I do to make someone help me out? What can I do to make people be very supportive for me? What can I do to make the situation better? What can I do to make the circumstance conducive for me? So when I ask the question like, what can I do? Then there is a whole lot of change, which means the control is within, internal. The control is not external anymore. When you have given the control externally to people and circumstances and situations, it is very tough, very hard for someone to achieve their goals. But when the control is internal, when you take the responsibility with yourself, then it's going to be extremely easier. And taking responsibility, owning responsibility is not an easy task. It's very tough, but it is absolutely worth it. Only if the control is internal, it is very, very easy for you to set goals and achieve. Instead of you can certainly move from blaming people to focusing on the outcome. What can I do to get this outcome? Instead of blaming people that he or she is not helping me out. Because having the locus of control in this, the point of control, where do you have the control, external or internal? Having internal control is extremely important and critical for someone to set goals, make plan, stick to the goal, and achieve it. It's very important. Control must be internal. And the next is the most important thing. How do you represent your goal mentally? Positively or negatively? Let me take an example of one of the goal which I did. Because I'm sorry to take my own example, because I'm not willing to share some of the other people's goals and how I have helped them to achieve it. Let me share my own example. When I set my goal to get into Limca Book of Records, initially, I was thinking about, can I really do it? Because when I was painting in a paper which is 4" by 4" in size. That's too small, palm size. This is the size of paper in which I was drawing and painting. And when I applied to Limca Book of Records, they happily accepted my application and sent a response by email saying, the minimum requirement is you producing an artwork of 500 square feet. 500. Where is 4 by 4 inches, a palm size paper, and where is this 500 square feet? I said, initially I thought, okay, fine. let me not get into Limca Book of Records at all. I had actually quit. I didn't take any action. But then people, there are few friends and supporters of mine, who constantly kept asking me, I'm blessed with such people. So constantly kept on asking me like, Radha, what happened to it? I said, I don't think that is possible. It's very difficult. Is it impossible or difficult? It's not impossible. It's only difficult. As in, if that is a difficulty, what is the difficulty? So I was asked a lot of questions. I have a mentor too. I was asked a lot of questions, and then I changed how I represented my goal mentally from fear to something positive. So initially I was like, how will I handle? Who will help me? All those negative questions and negative thoughts were in my mind. So I never took any action to achieve that goal. And the moment I changed how I represented the goal mentally from negative to positive, everything fell in place. Okay, what exactly I did to change from negative to positive is I imagined as if I'm creating a huge artwork, people around me are helping me out. And that requires a lot of materials. I imagine as if every material is there with me. And I imagine as if I am receiving the award and everything. So that gave me a lot of internal motivation. That gave me a lot of energy to take action. That helped me to think clearly about what exactly I need to do to make it happen. So this mental representation of how you represent your goal mentally is extremely important and will determine whether you will be driven to take action or not. So it's very important for someone to represent their goal mentally positively, for them to have a drive from within to take action, to progress, and ultimately achieve their goals as well. And one more thing that I learned is when you write your goal, when you set goal and you write it, you need to write it using positive words. Let me do a small psychological test with all of you. Okay. It's a very simple test, don't worry. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say 2 sentences. Now, when I say these sentences, sentence number 1 and 2, definitely there will be some kind of a picture created in your mind. Now, what I want to know from all of you at the end of me asking those 2 questions or me saying those 2 sentences is, you just have to let me know what came to your mind. And I expect all of you to be very honest in telling me what came to your mind, okay? So now the sentence number 1. Don't think of a monkey. So the first sentence is, don't think of a monkey. Sentence number 2, please don't think of an elephant. So now tell me what came to your mind. Either you can unmute and tell me, or you can put it in the chat window. I'm okay with anything, but I would like to receive responses.
Can you unmute on?
I should unmute all, is it?
No, you cannot. Arpit will do.
Okay.
Sure.
Monkey and elephant, obviously.
Anybody can just respond to Dr.
Yes,
Radha's,
people are responding in the chat window here. Monkey and elephant, it seems. Okay, but what did I tell you? I said, don't think of a monkey. And I also said, please don't think of an elephant. But you have thought of monkey and elephant? Does this mean you are unable to follow instructions? Okay, now tell me one thing. We have observed in smaller kids, maybe the kid of about 1 year, 1.5 years. What do we generally do when they walk a little faster or they run? Do we say, please walk slowly? Or do we say, don't run, don't run? We generally say, don't run. And when we say, don't run, what do those kids do? They run even faster. And then we adults say, so this kid is unable to take instruction at all. This kid is disobedient. So they are not at all obedient to what we are saying. These generation kids, no, they are unable to take instruction. Oh, how many complaints we give about those kids. And teachers, how many complaints we have about our students. But have we ever thought, are we giving the instructions positively or negatively? Now, what was the first instruction that I gave you? I said, don't think of a monkey. But what happened in your mind? Happily, the word don't was dropped. And then the instruction went to your mind like, think of a monkey. You have thought of a monkey exactly. And then the second instruction was, please don't think of an elephant. Again, the don't was not processed by your mind at all. So it became an instruction like, please think of an elephant, and happily an elephant picture came to your mind. Now, if you have thought of a monkey and an elephant, you are absolutely normal. Absolutely normal. There is nothing abnormal about it. If you have thought of monkey and elephant, we are absolutely normal. That's how human mind works. Human mind does not understand negations, negative words. So from today, my elder son is in class 10 and he has started his board exams. So if I want him to study instead of watching videos in YouTube, I don't tell him don't watch videos in YouTube. I instead say, focus on your studies a little more. So I don't tell him about what he is not supposed to do. Instead, I tell him about what he is supposed to do. Let's say, for an example, as a teacher, you have a whole lot of students in front of you and they keep chatting with each other. Do we say remain silent, please? Or do we say don't talk to each other? Normally, we all say don't talk to each other, don't chat in the classroom, don't do this, don't do that. So we are so habituated to give instructions negatively. And what we don't understand is the negatives are not processed by our mind at all. Our mind thinks everything only as a positive instructions. Because I used to tell this when there are people, who come to goal setting workshop and say that, Radha, I have been trying to reduce my weight since long, but I have never been able to do it. I said, what is your goal? Don't eat junk food. Don't sleep in the afternoon. I said, you need to change your goal. Don't be overweight. Don't be obese. You need to change the way you write your goals. And there are people who have written, I don't want to beg people for money. No, you rewrite your goals differently. So if you say, I don't want to be obese, instead you say, I want to reach my ideal weight. That makes a whole lot of difference. And with respect to students, when I have spoken to students, when I have delivered my workshop to students, there are students who have told me that I don't want to be scolded by my teacher. No, I said, you have to rewrite the goal in such case. You cannot write, I don't want to be scolded. When you say, I don't want to be scolded by my teacher, that don't is not processed by your mind. Your mind processes that instruction as, I want to be scolded by my teacher. So what happens is unconscious behavior is, you will start doing everything that is possible to be scolded by your teacher. And there was one more student who told me, I don't want to keep arrears. So instead, why don't you rewrite your goal as, I want to clear these subjects then and there. A little better goal. So when you write your goal, the point here is, when you think about your goal, when you write your goal, make sure you use only positive words to write them. That's extremely important. When you write your goals using positive words, that makes a whole lot of difference in your mind. It energizes your mind, it motivates you internally, it gives you all the drive that is required for you to start taking consistent action to achieve your goals. Very important. So make sure when you think about your goal, think positively. And when you write your goal, write using positive words. Words that you use can help you to change your mind and can help you to create miracles in your life. Words are very, very powerful, very powerful. And I also talk about, I have this one small topic to talk about before we close. Smart goals. When I say smart goals, S stands for being specific and M stands for being measurable, A for achievable, R for being relevant, and T for being time bound. There was one particular student who, let me give you an example of the conversation I have had with one particular student of mine, who said, I don't want to fail in my examination. I said, you need to write your goal positive. And then he rewrote the goal as, I want to pass in my examination. Okay, that's fine. What do you mean by passing? What is the passing minimum? He said, madam, passing minimum is 50%. I said, will you be happy if you score 50% in the examination? He said, no, madam, I'm already scoring 60%. Then why would I be happy scoring 50? I said, then the goal says that I want to pass in my examination. No, madam. What I actually meant is I want to improve my score. I said, okay, then rewrite your goal. Then he rewrote it. It is not, I want to pass in my examination. Now the goal has changed. I want to improve my score in my examination. Then my question was, what do you mean by improvement? What is your present score? So on an average, I'm scoring 60%, madam. Okay, fine. Then if you score 61% in the examination that's coming up now, will you be happy? So no, madam, that is not the improvement that I'm looking at. I'm looking at the improvement from 60 to 70%, not 60 to 61. Then you should write that specifically. Instead of writing, I want to improve my score, you need to write, I want to improve my score from 60 to 70. Then his question was, why should I specifically write it, madam? See, only if you are very specific about your goal, your mind will start functioning towards what it really requires from you to take in terms of taking action to help you to improve your score from 60 to 70. If you write a vague goal, I want to pass in my examination, I want to improve my score, where there is no clarity, what exactly is improvement? Only if you are very clear about what exactly is the improvement that you are looking at, then your mind will start functioning towards, look, this is what is required for you to improve your score. So you need to be really specific. Okay, then measurable. What are you going to measure here? There is no length and breadth to be measured. So instead, here the measurement means keeping track of your progress towards from where you are to where you want to go. Where you are, I'm scoring 60%. Where you want to go, 70%. So what is the action that you're supposed to take on a daily basis? sit and study for 2 hours on a daily basis without any distractions, with complete focus and concentration only on study. Are you doing it daily? So how many more days is there for your examination now? There's about 1.5 months, madam. Okay, put a timetable from today to 45 days. Day 1 is this, day 2 is this. Have I completed my schedule for day 1? Put a tick mark. Have I completed my schedule for day 2? Put a tick mark again. Because as you keep checking your progress, as you keep tracking your progress, you are very sure about achieving your goals. Or at times it also helps you to determine whether you have to increase the amount of effort that is required or decrease the amount of effort required. It helps you to understand the quantum of effort that would be really required for you to achieve your goals. So that's measurable. Then A is achievable. 60 to 70 is 60 to 100 is also possible, but the capability differs between people. So 60 to 70 is achievable for you? Yes. R, relevant or realistic. Is improving your score relevant to you? So that particular student, yes, madam, when now I will improve from 60 to 70, then 70 to 80, then 80 to 95, then 95 to 100. So I will keep on improving my score. When I improve my score with 90 plus, I have a better job opportunity available for me. So it is very, very relevant for me. Okay, fine. Time bound. When are you going to improve your score from 60 to 70? Every 2 months, you seem to have examinations. So let's say February, April, June, August, October, December. Every 2 months, you have examination. When exactly are you going to do it? Because without the deadline, what generally we do as human beings is we keep postponing the tasks. But if you have a deadline for achieving a particular goal, it keeps hitting you. Look, this is the deadline. Are you taking action daily? So your mind will start driving you towards taking action, towards getting the progress, and towards ultimately achieving your goal as well. So these are some of the things that are really important. When you make your goal SMART, that takes care of the what part of the goal. What do you want to achieve? I want to improve my score from 60% to 70% in the examination during June 2022. This is what I want. But why do you want it? Why do you want to improve your score? So why should I identify the reasons of why I want to achieve my goal? Because when you identify the reasons, it's motivation for you. It helps you to take action. Fine, if I improve my score, my teachers appreciate me. If I improve my score, my parents are happier and proud of me. If I improve my score, I am proud of myself. And my fellow classmates are going to appreciate me. I can help people to improve their score as well. And if I improve my score from 60 to 70, I'm more confident of improving my scores further. And if I keep on improving my scores, I have better job opportunities available. So similarly, if you're very clear about what and why, be very sure we are going to be achievers. So there are 3 basic things. 1, write your goals positively. 2, be very clear about what exactly you want. Your goals must be SMART for that. And 3, identify the reasons of why you want to achieve your goals. So these 3 things should take care of any goal that you set in any key area of your life. Thank you so much for the opportunity given. I think I did some justice to the opportunity given. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Radha, for these excellent examples, excellent points, and setting the goals which you have given. And I think the points given by you are very practical.
Thank you, sir.
The very obvious questions which you ask, but we never think of the answers, like what I'm going to do if I'm given 1 crore of rupees in 30 seconds. So really, it gives us a lot of insights that what are our goals exactly. So there are many points. I'm not going to repeat. I'll just summarize later on. But before that, I want to also just ask you how you can help the universities for these soft skills. Especially our young and energetic students of agriculture universities, because they also need some kind of such motivation lectures.
Right.
So can you just please tell us?
So what I think is, there are two things that can be done for the students of the agricultural universities. One is it can be a kind of a blended learning. In the sense, it could be a mix of both classroom and e-learning. Earlier people weren't so supporting the idea of online learning and e-learning, but now this code has given us the responsibility of doing things online. And I have come up with an e-learning module of about 180 days, that is 6 months program for soft skills alone. And since I am also, educated in neuro-linguistic programming and all other some psychology topics on adult learning, I have created the modules like incorporating all adult learning strategies, basically. So it is in both the visual mode, it is in auditory mode, it is in text mode, and it is also in assignments. I personally believe that, a student will answer the question if they are asked the right question. So there are assignments to the modules that I have created, which will help them to apply the knowledge in their personal life and their educational life. So the e-learning module is created in such a way which will cover the topics of goal setting, time management, listening, communication skills, presentation skills, and problem solving, decision making. And along with this, what I also found is the language skills part. When it comes to speaking in English and writing, reading in English, people do understand. The students do know to speak in English, but they are very apprehensive about talking in English. There are 4 aspects which I personally believe the students can improve them upon. That is listening, speaking, reading, and writing in English. So I have some exercises which will basically help them improve. I don't teach them English, but I give them exercises which will help them understand that they are already good in English. So they will gain confidence to speak, read, write, and listen something in English. So these 2 are the things that I do in an online mode thing. And I also do classroom training. So what I would personally suggest is to initially start with probably a half a day or a 1-day program to meet students and then orient them about this is what they can expect in the online program, and then continue with the online stuff. I think that will definitely help all these students, irrespective of UG, PG, or PhD, whomever it is.
Thank you, madam. And we'll just have detailed discussion on this, how best we can have the future collaboration with you to provide the soft skills. Because as far as I know, in the universities there is a study in the US that most of the jobs, I think around 85% of the persons in the private sector, they lose their jobs not because they are not technically sound,
correct,
just because they lack in this how to take the decisions or how to coordinate in the multicultural environment and many more things. Your personality development. So it's a personality class more responsible for losing the job than your academics.
That's
so
right.
This is also essentially required and equally important for the students to learn the communication skills. And for that, we are running a lot of programs under this World Bank supported program, NEHEP, and where the students are getting a lot of confidence now.
Okay.
A lot of appreciation for you, ma'am, from our participants.
Okay.
But one question is from our Director of National Academy of Agricultural Research Management, Dr. Srinivas Rao.
Okay.
Dr. Rao, can you just, okay, let me ask on his behalf. So he's saying that his question is in, what is the difference in goal setting impacts in public, private and individual life? And he means public institutions and private organizations and individual life.
Oh, there are huge differences, sir. Depends on which key area of life they want to set their goals. Do they want to set and achieve in their personal life, or for their profession, or for their professional qualifications? It depends on in which key area they want to set their goals and achieve. And number two, what exactly are the personality traits of the individual who is trying to set goal and achieve? So there are various factors that determines the success of the goal setting and differences in these factors. And of course, I can certainly help, and I can talk to the individual personally and understand them better.
Okay. Dr. Rameshwar Singh, okay, he's leaving. Dr. G.K. Singh Saab, you have any point to make? Vice Chancellor at Duvashu, Mathura? Or any other Vice Chancellor wants to make any point, how best we can help these students or such kind of motivational or such kind of personality development lectures.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Nirja Prabhakar from Horticulture University, Telangana.
Welcome, Madam, Dr. Nirja. Yeah.
I know Dr. Radha because she is a resource person during COVID period. She delivered so many lectures to our students also, motivational lectures. Apart from that, yes, some of the students even enter into the mandala art. What she said is which improves the concentration of by practicing this mandala art, that is a dot art. And in my opinion, what she shared is, that today covered, that one is related to the goal setting is absolutely correct. And my previous teaching experience also, I used to deal in the first class itself with the new entered students in the university about this goal setting. So I used to tell them that you set the goals like small goals and medium length, that is based on the time based, and long term goals, short term, medium term and long term goals. So like I used to divide giving the examples. So short term is just for you are getting into the SEM and accommodated to this one and passing the subjects related to the present SEM. So this is the one. And then the medium term goal, you had to pass out this degree. So what you had to, like fixing specific goals, that is quantitative. You have to write in the quantitative terms and qualitative terms how you have to achieve that goal is most important thing, rather than simply telling the goal. This is the one more thing. And the next last one is long term goal. So the long term goal will achieve by combination of the starting from the like a small, medium and ultimately that long term goal. So that's how you will achieve it without much pressure on the student. So this is the how I used to communicate.
Thank you, Dr. Nirja, and thank you for your additional points. Dr. Rameshwar Singh, sir, you want to make any point? He is the Vice Chancellor of our Bihar Agricultural University, Bihar Animal Science University. So how the students can be benefited with such programs?
Sir, you have to unmute.
Dr. Rameshwar Singh, sir, can you unmute?
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. In fact, in many universities or in our system, we don't deal much with the psychological and motivational things in our syllabi. And this dimension, or remaining in, developing more contact with students, mentoring, that goes a long way. So there has been personal mentoring of students in agriculture universities because the teacher-taught ratio is very healthy. as compared to general universities. But we don't have a mechanism as such built-in mechanism. We had some tutorial groups and all these things, and there we used to see, okay, you set your goals and you improve yourself, and I will help you. Like that, many teachers have played a very stellar role also. They have done it. But I think the modern tools and the professional help from psychologists, from other persons who are, professionals in this field, and they can analyze the difficulties with students, take a base survey, how students feel about it, how much they are sensitized. So some part, at least say 5% of the time from our academic activity can be devoted to this area. That should be really helpful, and we can learn from there and move forward. So thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ramesh Singh sir. Any other participant, our DDG or our Vice Chancellor, anybody want to make any additional points? Okay.
Yes, Doctor, and GK Singh.
Yes. I was remembering you, sir.
Okay. Firstly, my compliments to Madam Radha for very candid explanation of this goal setting and all those things. And I think it's very important for the person in any walk of life to decide goal and to make efforts to achieve that. And Madam, while delivering your lecture, you differentiated between the term goal and objectives. But Dr. Agrawal Sahab, while asking us to write information about the institution, he gives many more terms also: vision, mission, aim, and most everything. So can you please differentiate among all these terms?
So vision it's like goal, and mission is like objectives. Vision is broader in nature, and mission is what you are supposed to do to achieve your vision. It's like goals and objectives.
So can all these terms can be put in hierarchy? What is broader and how it narrows down?
See, for people like you, it is vision and mission. For students, it is goals and objectives. If it is to be in hierarchy, the vision and goal will be at one level, and mission and objectives will be at the next level.
Means we cannot differentiate between mission and objective.
According to me, yes.
Okay, then thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, excellent talk, Dr. Radha.
Thank you,
Compliments to you. And I request to the participants to take note of all these points, especially writing the goals. Until unless you write not only the goals, whatever you have to do tomorrow, if you write on the points, you can have a sound sleep. Okay, you need not do just think of whole night that what you have to do. So writing is always better, and especially the benefits which you have told of setting the goals, how it improves the self-motivation, and you should not feel like shying that, okay, I should not share my goals. And many good points you have told, and the good thing was that they were all your personal experiences. How you came to this Limca book, and how you have converted yourself from this very lucrative position, a highly paying job in the IT sector, to this self-motivation and to this soft skill kind of things. Really, it's a great thinking which you have made, and a great change which you have brought. And I've heard some of your lectures from the universities where you are just mentoring the students. So they are very well appreciated. And we'll just think how best we can take take advantage of your this expertise in the aggregate universities. So thank you, friends. Now we will have the next lecture on the 2nd of May. And that's by Director General of IFPRI, International Food and Policy Research Institute. So please stay connected. and keep listening to these important lectures. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
And see you again.
Thank you, sir.
And namaskar to everybody. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Namaskar.